Hey guys, Travis T here,
And Cartoon Joe.
and this is week. God, was it
Three.
week 3?
I think so.
I can't I can't remember. It's all kind of blurred together this past week. This last week has been a weird thing.
Yeah.
But we are actually going into our final week of keto dieting. So this is our fourth blog to discuss our third week, but we're going into our fourth week. Um, Joe, I want to kind of start and talk a little bit about me first and talk about this past week. So I plateaued out this week, which it's a little bit weird to plateau out for a guy my size with the amount of weight to lose so quickly. Can't explain what happened. Followed the diet as you should. I know that my biggest problem this past week, as it always been, and it's something that I don't know how to fix, is just eating at the right times and eating appropriately throughout the day, breakfast, lunches, and dinners and stuff like that. Because I've always had breakfast. I made it a point, at least for this diet, to wake up, have some water. I've been doing a lot better on my water, and actually eating breakfasts and stuff. And I've been having like omelets, either like uh, ham and cheese omelets or bacon and omelet, just some kind of omelet because it's easy to make, and I got a lot of eggs to do it.
For sure.
But throughout the day, it just gets a little bit, kind of like, I just don't even feel like eating so much. So lunches are far and few in between. I've had, slices of like lunch meat and some celery with sour cream and stuff like that. Dinner's almost non-existent, but I did find that I'm not sure if I invited you to the page, but Jackie's Keto page on Facebook. They're starting this fasting thing together with everyone, and there's actually an app for it. So I've been doing that, and that it's kind of been helping put my food eating into focus. So
nice.
So I did plateau out this week. I'm still at 410, which I was kind of hoping. You waving to me?
Sorry, I was deleting a thing and I forgot that my camera was over there.
No problem. So it's weird for me with so much weight to lose on the keto diet to like plateau out, but it kind of makes sense with the eating habits I've had. So I'm not upset by it. It's not like I'm falling back. I'm still moving forward. And again, it's one of the things like this has been a lot easier because we've been doing these together and discussing and keeping in touch and stuff. So it has been easier to kind of stay motivated to stay on at least the best track I have been. So,
right. So is it just you're not getting enough calories to lose the weight? Is that the?
I don't think I'm eating enough food, so the fats and everything will balance itself out, store it, and then bring it down over the proteins and everything. I'm definitely not eating as many calories, which
Gotcha.
I don't think is a huge thing. Like, I mean, even when I put the stuff into the fitness pal of what I'm eating, I'm still falling within my macros. I'm still heavy in fats and moderate in protein and limited in carbs and everything. It's just it's not getting enough food into the system to start like channeling like fuel and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Which my grandma brought up a good point when she kind of asked me about it, like because we're doing this only for 30 days and we're going into our last week of keto. And my grandma kind of asked me if she thought that like us doing 30 days isn't enough time to give to these diets. And I think it is. I mean, like it's like I told her, like if you do keto right, you could go into ketosis within 10 days.
Right.
Some people will take longer. It's just it just all depends on how you attack it and how you focus on it.
Right. I think I was into it within 5.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like because you kind of start feeling like I know this past week, I started feeling a little bit crappy, thinking like maybe I was going into the keto flu. I think that was more mental than it was the actual physical thing and everything. Just job hunting and all that stuff. So
yeah.
So I'm still gonna take it as a win right now. We do have one more week left of dieting. So I know the overall goal is 400. Being at 405 right now and being stagnant there throughout the week, I'll be happy to hit 405. So I'm going to stick to the 5-pound weight loss goal for this week, hoping to hit 405. So when we roll into July, I have a good starting point from there to kind of move forward.
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat this week. I don't know. The weird thing is I haven't been hungry. And so when you're not hungry, it's hard to eat.
Yeah.
And I've been consistently throughout this whole process following the MyFitnessPal recommendations. I've been coming in, between 400 and 700 calories shy of what I need to lose the weight. But the thing is, though, is that I've been losing for most of it. I've been losing lots of weight at once. I think I lost almost 10 pounds in the first week, just from not doing good with my water more than anything. But it stabilized and hung out there for a long time. And then I immediately dropped the other 5 pounds to get down to where I'm at now, which is about 211, 210, depending on the day and time.
Yeah.
But it's been the same for me. This whole week I've just stayed there. And I think part of it is I did take a bit of a cheat day last Saturday. My wife was out of town and we were out of food, keto food. I was out of eggs. I was out of, I could have just eaten zucchinis, and I didn't want to just eat zucchinis. Like I'm at the point where I'm sick of zucchini. And so I ordered in some food from a local Mexican place, and it was delicious. I was able to, basically eat, the one burrito was my food for the whole day.
Yeah.
Because it was, one of those big ass dinosaur egg sized burritos.
Oh, well, if you go to a real Mexican restaurant, they don't make small burritos.
No. Yeah, no. Exactly. Well, and the place I ordered from is El Famous Burrito. So,
Oh, there you go. Gotcha.
It was good. It was delicious. And, and I'll admit, I paid for it. It hurt. The next day, I was hungry. For the first time this entire month, I was hungry because all I was running on was carbs. And it's so easy to run through all those carbs.
Yeah.
Whereas with the when you're fat based and protein based, I find that I'm not hungry all the time in the same way. So that was interesting. It was interesting to learn that, and it was interesting to know that about myself going forward. I think even as we transition to the next diet, I'm going to keep a pretty high amount of protein and fat in my diet because I'm not as hungry when I have those. So
yeah, and we'll talk about a little bit more next week, and then obviously when we go into July and doing our first week vlog on it, we are going to do the Mediterranean diet, which it does allow the opportunity to eat like potatoes and carrots and bread and stuff, kind of a little bit opposite of what the keto allows, but it's still in moderation. It still focuses on a lower carb. I think more to protein than anything, but there are ways to kind of follow the Mediterranean diet while still incorporating a little bit of keto into it.
Yep.
How have you been as far as working out and exercising and stuff like that?
I've kept up with it. I've done I added squats this week. So I've done push-ups and squats basically every other day. And it's been going great. I've really been happy with it. I like it's the first time in a long time I've looked at my body in the mirror and been like, yeah, that's you know what I mean? Like it's not where I want to be, but it's so much better than I was. I mean, I can even see myself on the video feed here. Looking good. I like the way my face looks. It's a nice feeling. So I'm really excited to keep moving forward. I am a little, I'm not terribly surprised to kind of plateau around 210. That's in the past, that's where I've plateaued. From either direction. When I started gaining weight, I stopped at 210 for so long. I actually thought I couldn't get any heavier. And then, coronavirus hit. It taught me just how fat my ass could get. But anyway, so I'm not surprised that I'm plateauing. I hope I can push through it this next week, and I'm with you. I'd be super happy to hit 205 and be going into July in the mid 210s there.
Yeah, and that's the important thing. Like like we give ourselves goals on where we believe is realistic, and if we don't hit it, it's not like we don't hit it, give up, and then we're going back to what we were doing. It's a progression moving forward, and that's why we're doing these vlogs, not only for our own health, but to kind of give people an idea of like how they affect different body types and a different different class of people all based on like like income and stuff like that too. Because we did focus on, I know I know you said you actually spent more money this past month on keto compared to what you normally do. I stayed about average at about $50 a week. Not really much going over and everything, which it just comes from like the 7 straight months of keto I did a couple years ago, and and finding those balances on what you can get by with and what you couldn't get by with. But
yeah, and I actually in the end I did happen to get it. I went to the grocery store once at the beginning, and that went way over budget. And so I went a second time, and that second trip lasted us 2 weeks. So I actually managed to get it down to basically $60 a week if you average it out.
Yeah. Well, and diets are like that, like when you first start out, you gotta supply yourself with the food you need, and then following that is just restocking.
Yep.
I mean, lucky for me,
figuring out what I'm actually going to eat and what I'm not going to eat.
Yeah.
So it turns out I end up eating a lot more eggs. So eggs are pretty cheap up here. It's like $1.09 for a dozen eggs at Aldi.
Yeah.
Maybe down here, if I got them in bulk, but.
Yeah, but down here it's like $2 for an 18 pack, and like I said, like I buy 2 of them. I hard boil 1 pack, and I use the other one to make omelets and stuff like that. And I have a 3-egg omelet every day. It gets me through the week up until Sunday. So it's all about planning out, and that's usually what diets are consist of, is planning. I do get what you're saying about looking better on the camera. You do look like your jawline's a little more there. I think I look better on camera too, just not right now because like I'm just really frumpy when like I'm sitting in like the chair and stuff. But
gotcha.
Plus the beard is starting to like blossom out, so it's like I know that even though I've only lost 10, 11 pounds, whatever it is, I still feel better, and doing all the extra work and stuff like that. The DDP yoga I started doing. Working out in the garage and like moving like the heavy stuff around, and we just did the garage sale this past weekend, where it's just moving stuff around. Like it's just you're constantly moving, so the exercise is there. So you are slimming down, but when you're doing heavy lifting and stuff like that, you're building muscle. And we talked about that last week, where the muscle weight compared to fat weight is there's a difference. So
yeah, that's what I see too on my scale is to see my body fat going down a little bit and my muscle content going up.
Yeah.
So,
so goals for next week? I'm still shooting for 5 pounds, hoping to hit that 405 mark.
Yep, same. I'm gonna try and go for to get down to 205. I think that's gonna be pretty good.
Awesome. All right, guys. We'll touch base with you guys next week on our next vlog as we wrap up the keto diet. And yeah, that's all I got. So I'm Travis. See you guys.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
Cool. We'll see you next week.